talking and chatting, but I wasn't really feeling a fight on that day. I knew that we had a blaze spawner basically right beside our portal, which was obviously nice for getting blaze rods, but the rest of the day I spent getting glowstone and quartz, as that would be kinda nice to have. After I came back, I had enough XP to enchant the rest of my armor. I got quite bad enchantments on my chestplate, however the helmet was an absolute thumbs up. Protection 3, Respiration 3, and Unbreaking 3, that was pretty nice. And the amount of time that I spent trying to get good enchantments on my diamond sword is kind of ridiculous. It was just one of these curses of this world that I couldn't get a good enchantment on the sword. I enchanted it countless amount of times. Day 48, I was trading with the hoglins. I had a bit of gold left and I tried to see if I can get any extra ender pearls. Day 49, I was gathering some resources. I wanted to decorate my base a little bit and I thought that crimson would do the job just fine. And then I also got some blackstone, being very cautious of the ghast behind me. When I got back home, I put my newbie building skills to the test and I decided to decorate my portal room. I was basically just placing blocks randomly, hoping they would look cool, and in the end it was alright I guess if you turn shaders on, but overall I still need to work on my building quite a lot. Day 50 was just getting resources. Day 51 I was building my storage room because I never really had a proper one, and this is what it was kind of looking like. It wasn't looking too bad. I tried to use jungle wood because I was in a jungle biome. I thought it kind of just made sense to do so. But suddenly I got enlightened and I thought of this amazing idea. For this I needed a ton of sand and some tropical fish, and I think you know where I'm going. I wanted to build like a little pond below the storage room. Didn't really turn out too well. It was glitching about and overall it just didn't really look the best, but I left it for a little bit to see if I was gonna like it in the future. I sorted out my stuff and then I went out exploring a little bit more. I found another shipwreck and another buried treasure map. I'm gonna need to come back to this and look for the treasure later in the future. Apart from that, I was just getting some more jungle wood. I just thought it'd be useful in the future as well. And then I found this parrot, and no matter how many seeds I gave it, it did not want to be tamed. So eventually I thought to myself that he could be a spy, so I killed him. You know, you can never take chances in these days. Then I got working on another project. I'm making a ton of fences. I just wanted to make a massive fence around my house. A fence that would keep me safe at night from all of the mobs. I did a little bit of terraforming just because the land was in the way and placed some decorations. And guess what? On day 59 I spent the whole day grinding for XP yet again. That was all because I just wanted to enchant my sword. And guess what? I couldn't get any good enchantments on it. I enchanted it so many times and no matter what I did, it didn't want to enchant. I fixed up my diamond pickaxe because it was running low. I still didn't have mending. I wanted to get that in the future, but eventually I managed to get a sword that has got looting 2 on it, which was nice. But remember the little project on my storage room? I didn't like it, so I had to change it afterwards, and I had to fight this annoying ghast again. And this is how the storage room looked after, much better than before in my opinion. Day 61 to 66 I spent gathering dirt. Why was that? Well, I was planning on building a massive farm for my crops. I wanted to also grow carrots and potatoes as well as the wheat. So this farm, it took me quite a lot of time and quite a lot of resources to make. Unfortunately, I had to cover up this lake here, but it was fine because I still had a spare one on the ranch, as I can say. It took me so long to make this farm. It's kind of crazy. it was supposed to be a bit smaller, but it came out a bit bigger. I needed so much dirt that I had to destroy the whole hill that was at the side. Not hill, it was a mountain. And then I placed some crimson slabs at the side of it. I just thought it kind of made it look kind of unique, and overall this is what it was looking like in the end. I planted a ton of wheat seeds, carrots, and then also potatoes that I got from the zombie spawns in my mob spawner. Day 68, it was just back in the strip mines. I was just gathering more resources such as iron and diamonds. On day 69, I was just trading with a bunch of hoglins. I was just trying to get the final ender pearls that I needed for the ender dragon fight. On day 70, I went out a little bit to gather some spruce wood. And whilst I was doing that, I was meted by some phantoms, but that was a good thing because I was able to actually get a phantom membrane from killing one of them. When I came back home, it was time to start preparing for the Ender Dragon fight, since I had enough Ender Pearls at that point. So this is what my final loadout looked like. I had fireworks because I wanted to get the Elytra as soon as I defeated the Ender Dragon. I said goodbye to my home as it could be the last time that I see it, and I went into the stronghold. And it was the moment. It was the moment that was going to make the portal that was going to take me through to the end. And all it took was to place all of the Ender Eyes in the right positions. And with some hesitation, I placed the final Ender Eye in the portal. And now it was just me and the dragon. So, I dug up, and the first thing I wanted to do is to clear out all of the end crystals on top of the towers. The shorter towers were quite easy to get, however, I did then later on have problems getting the end crystals off of the higher towers. When the dragon shot its dragon's breath at me, I decided to use the opportunity to collect it and complete an achievement. Things started looking a little bit better for me. I started destroying more and more towers, especially the ones that were guarded around. However, the dragon was still far away from being defeated. So what I did is I climbed up on one of the highest towers. I was risking quite a lot because if the dragon knocked me off here, then that could have ended up really badly. But eventually I got up to the top, and from here I had a very clear view on the remaining end crystals, and just like that I was able to get the last end crystal, and now the dragon was fully mine. I started taking some critical hits on it with my bow, but I decided to go down to the ground just in case the dragon knocked me off. Quite a lot of my shots were missing the dragon, so I knew that I had to improve my accuracy. Then the dragon went down to the ground, so I knew that this was the time that I could do a lot of damage, so I took out my sword and went over to the dragon's tail and started taking some hits. However, the dragon knocked me up in the air. I would die of fall damage, but I decided to use an Ender Pearl to safely get down to the ground. And then eventually my aim was getting a lot better, and now I was hitting the dragon quite frequently. I knew that it'd only be a matter of hits before the dragon dies and I defeat it. Personally, I thought that this shot over here was quite cool. You know, definitely not luck over here. But then, the dragon was down to very, very low health, and I knew that literally I was 2 shots away from killing it. So I gave it all that I had. I started taking shots, but with all the panic, I was kind of choking quite a lot of them. And yeah, the dragon started going down, and now this was the final hit. And now I defeated the Ender Dragon in hardcore Minecraft. All that was left to do now is just sit back and collect all of the XP that I managed to get from it. And just look at the smile on my face over here. I was so happy with what I managed to achieve. After I collected the last bits of XP, I headed straight towards the portal towards the end cities. I built up to it using cobblestone. I made sure that I had my health fully regenerated, and I made the jump into the portal. And here we are spawning on an island in the end. I threw an Ender Pearl onto the mainland, hoping that I wouldn't die in the process, and fortunately, a couple seconds after walking, I find an end ship. Literally the best seed in the world. I kid you not. I used cobblestone to build up to it, and I still couldn't believe that I found this so quickly. We were literally seconds away from getting an Elytra. All I had to do now to get my hands on it is defeat the shulker right over here, and that was quite an easy task. Just before that, I quickly checked out the chests, and there was a very nice pair of diamond boots with mending on it. This would be something that I would definitely use in the future. But after that, it was time to get my hands on the mighty Elytra. I put it on as soon as I could have, and I had the fireworks on me already. I had to battle this shulker over here. I was just doing that so that I could get some shulker shells to make shulker boxes. I couldn't forget about the dragon head, so I went out and quickly got that. That was a huge achievement on my hand. I went down to the other part of the end city, however, because it was so small, there was no chests. I did, however, find 2 shulkers on the bottom, and I got a shulker shell from one of these each. And then all of a sudden, one of the Endermen got really angry at me. Since I had my Elytra on, my armor was weakened. It started attacking me, and I just couldn't kill it. I was down to 2.5 hearts, and the water bucket saved my life. If I didn't have that on me, I would have probably been dead, and this challenge would have ended over here. I felt so relieved when I saw the Enderman die. I didn't want to come close to dying again, so I decided that it'd be about time to get back home. I remembered to get the dragon's egg as well. I got back to the portal, but I knew that I still had to do quite a lot more challenges. As soon as I got home, I started playing about with enchantments. I was enchanting a ton of books in a hope to get Unbreaking 3 on my Elytra. However, in the end, I only ended up getting Unbreaking 2, but that could be something that I change in the future. After that, I went over and made all of the shulker shells that I could have, which was only 2, but that was fine, that was enough for the time being. Unfortunately, the footage for the next couple of days has corrupted, but let me run you through what I did. From day 73 to 79, I went out, gathered a ton of TNT, and did some netherite mining. I managed to get 25 bits of ancient debris. From day 80 to 85, I went to the nether and I was trying to get wither skulls. That was so that I could spawn in the wither. And then on day 86, I defeated the wither. I'm so sorry that I can't get this footage. I promise I did this, and here is the place that I defeated him. On day 87, I decided to chill out a little bit. I wanted to build a stable for some of the animals I'm gonna have on this farm. I made friends with a cow, sheep, and I brought them into the farm. And later on, I also made friends with a chicken. Since I now had the nether star from the wither, I knew that it was time to build a beacon. However, there was a problem. I had nowhere near enough resources to build it. I was gonna need around 163 blocks to build it. So, for the next couple of days, I was just in caves gathering a bunch of iron, gold, and diamonds to be able to actually build the full beacon. I also came across the zombie spawner and I thought it was just kinda cool. I got a saddle from it. But for the rest of the time, I was literally just going from cave to cave, gathering every single bit of iron that I could find. Once I got home and smelted everything up, I realized that I was missing a couple of pieces, so I went back down into the mines to gather more. And eventually, I had everything that I needed and I started building the beacon. And this was the moment that we've all been waiting for. I placed down the beacon, and there we go. It is now working, and we now have a beacon. This is now 2 out of the 3 challenges that I set myself in the beginning. I still need to get a netherite axe and a netherite shovel. But before I went to the nether, I decided to do a little bit of work on my house. I kind of changed up the enchantment room and made it look a little bit better, and made this little random water thing. Then I went to the nether on day 95, and I started placing a ton more TNT to try to get 5 more bits of netherite. I found 1 ore of ancient debris over here, another one over here just while strip mining, just by luck, another bit over here just beside the lava pool, and another bit just while strip mining over here. That was pretty lucky, not gonna lie. After this, I only needed 1 more bit. I was completely out of TNT and my pickaxe was a way to break. I really wanted to give up at this point as I didn't want my pickaxe to break. However, just as I was a way to stop, I found the one last bit of ancient debris. I was super happy at that point and I got back to my base. I could finally complete this challenge by turning all of my tools into netherite. I started off with the axe and then with the shovel. And now I had the full set of everything. Days 97 to 99, I was just doing bits and bobs, sorting out my inventory and just doing a little path in my house, just these little cosmetic works. And there it was, day 100, and we have completed all of the goals that I set out in the beginning. So if you guys did enjoy this video, I would highly appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This video took a ton of time to make. In fact, it took me over 50 hours to record and edit. So if you guys could leave a like and subscribe, that would be absolutely awesome. But anyways, see you in the next one.